Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Sorry about the lack of uploads last week or so. I've been just busy with family stuff. So today I'm going to be talking about the Maz 44 semi-automatic rifle from Battlefield 5. Before we get completely started, if you do end up enjoying this video, I would really appreciate if you considered leaving a like, subscribing, sharing it with somebody who you think may enjoy it, or somebody who enjoys FPS content. Really helps me out and I really do appreciate it. So the Maz 44 is a really solid weapon. I'm going to say that right at the beginning here. The specializations do help, but it is one of the weapons that has the highest bullet velocity out of all of them to start. I am using the barrel bedding, enhanced grips, detachable magazines, and high velocity bullets, which give it more bullet velocity, but to start, like I said, it has the highest of any of the guns in the assault class, which really helps. A lot of people really like the gun. I see it being used a lot. I don't know if I would consider it one of the meta weapons, but it's pretty on par with like the Turner SMLE. I believe they share the same damage model and the same rounds per minute. However, I do think that the Maz 44 does have a less vertical recoil by default, but both of the weapons you can kind of just, click as fast as you can, and it's pretty easy to control what little recoil is actually there. I always find myself using the Maz 44 just as something that I enjoy using. It's one of those guns that I didn't get it to rank 10 until now, but I would use it occasionally just to use something different than what I normally did, and I always felt like it was a pretty decent gun. I tried the 3X and the red dot sight, but I kind of ended up just on the aperture sight because I just thought it kind of looked neat, to be honest. I mean, it's a 1.5x zoom, I believe, on the aperture sight, and I mean, it doesn't really make much of a difference, truly, from the red dot. It takes up more of your screen. I just think that the concept is cool, so I always try it on the guns that offer it. I fell in love with using it, if I'm being honest, and I just felt like, after you kind of get used to the feel of the gun, it just really does feel like a great weapon to use. I think people who enjoy close range, medium range, I wouldn't say like super long range, because I do believe after 100 meters it's like 5 or 6 bullets to kill somebody, but if you enjoy being, like any of the ranges, I would say that this gun really is kind of perfect as an all-arounder, as opposed to like, some of the other weapons that are great at medium to longer range but kind of struggle when you're like right up there at close range. This gun can kind of do it all, and I really like that about it, because I'm not always in the mood to sit back and, fire pot shots at people, but I'm also not always in the mood to be up and close with everybody all the time either, like it depends on what I'm feeling in that given moment of how I'll play, or how I'm feeling that match, or what, depending on the map. I mean, there's a lot of factors to it for me, but I think people who really enjoy kind of being versatile, the Maz 44 really helps. I mean, a little history about the gun itself. It's a French weapon that did see real action for a long time, actually. They kept it in production and as a semi-automatic option for service for a really long time. The French seem to make some pretty interesting weapons, in my opinion. Every game that has offered French weapons, I tend to kind of gravitate towards them. I'm not really sure why, personally. Like, the Lebel is a French sniper rifle, and then the Maz 44, and there's other weapons that are, made by the French that I've used, but those are the two that really come to mind when I think about them. And I just really enjoy the way that they feel. Battlefield 1 offers the Lebel, and it's just a great infantry rifle for close to medium range. You don't really have a lot of bullet drop, and it shoots pretty straight in that game. Maybe one day I'll make more of a actual video about it, but the Maz is kind of the same. It shoots straight, there's not a lot of recoil, there's fast bullet velocity out the gate, and then the high velocity bullets really just help it excel all around. I think if you're looking for a weapon to use that's not a full auto, or maybe you're just trying to find something that's different from what you normally do use, that it's kind of the perfect choice, really. A lot of people do enjoy it, like I said. The meta weapons seem to be more like the M2 carbine or the STG even, or the Turner SMLE. For some reason, people choose that more so than they do the MOS, but I find that kind of weird just considering that they're so similar, but I think it's just the Turner is a little bit more known to be a harder hitting weapon, but the MOS really works well because it's, you know, it's like within 30 meters, I believe, or 40 meters or something, it's like a 3 to 4 shot kill, and that's just body shots. I think if you hit in the head, it's like most of the semi-auto self-loading rifles, I believe it's a 2-shot headshot. So it's pretty interesting when you have so many weapons that do that, just to see that a lot of people kind of forget about some of the other weapons. But the MOS, I think, is just very simple to get the hang of. Some of these weapons, since I haven't really used them, it took me until actually using it for a while to get a good feel for what I was doing with the weapon. But this one kind of just felt like second nature. It was like, oh, okay. Like, it really did feel a lot like the Turner SMLE, and I think that because of that, it was easy to get accustomed to using it and then learning, like, you know, what the lead was at farther ranges. It does change because of the bullet velocity, but it's not too bad to get used to. And then, you know, of course, like when you're close range, are you gonna be, you know, spamming it okay? Like, the hip fire is decent. I don't really hip fire a lot in this game, but because a lot of the clips that I got, I was kind of a little bit closer for the most part, or at least more at a medium range, so the aperture sight really helped out for me. If I was using the 3x, I probably wouldn't ADS. Like, if somebody was right in my face, I'd just probably try to hip fire them instead of, you know, like ADSing and trying to track them really close, because for me personally, I use a lot of different sensitivities on weapons. It's the weapon sensitivity is different from my soldier sensitivity, which is different for each level of zoom. So I have a high look around sensitivity, but when you get into adding sights and different zoom levels, that slows down so that I can be more accurate, which is why a lot of people kind of see the whole, you know, snappy look to the way I aim sometimes. It's not even that I'm snapping to anybody. I just know how far I need to move my arm to get to where I need it to be, and then, but when you double that with a slower look around speed when I'm ADS'd, it looks weird. But, you know, that's just kind of how gaming goes sometimes. You know, you get used to it. So having a 3x on the weapon when I'm close range, it's a lot more movement than I'm used to for close range, so I do try to hip fire when I'm really close, but the aperture sight kind of worked perfectly for me being at any range that I was at, because it is a little bit zoomed in enough that I can kind of see people and pick them off. If they're far away, I can get them at medium range, or if I'm close and I feel like I need to ADS, I can ADS and hit the target just fine without feeling like I'm having a hard time tracking somebody. Overall, I just think it's a really solid weapon. I think anybody who has enjoyed using the Turner SMLE would really like using it, or, you know, if you're new to the game, which is who these videos are kind of really more for, it's definitely one of those weapons that I would really recommend trying at least once to see how you like it. Get it up to level 4 at least, so you can use the different attachments and specializations and things. But overall, I really just enjoyed every moment I was using the weapon. I didn't want to move on to the next weapon because I was like, oh man, I really just want to use this gun. It's really good. You know, I really enjoyed using it, and I got so many clips pretty much from just a couple of games. Like, I got it to level 10 very quickly, and I felt like I was really working with it well, and that I didn't have to have much thought go into using it. Like I said at the beginning, where some of the weapons I feel like I have to really use them for a while to get the hang of it. So, but this one just, it's a great all-arounder. I think it's perfect for anybody who kind of has a versatile playstyle that they kind of are just all over the place. Like, if you really want to be able to hit shots from far away or close or whatever, I would say that the Moz 44 is definitely perfect for that type of playstyle, personally. So anyway, that's gonna do it for me today. Hope you learned something new about the game or the weapon. You know, that's always kind of my goal, to try and help people who are a little newer to the game. There's been a big influx of new players lately, and I think that, you know, having some newer information available, since people stopped making videos and there was some some changes after the fact, you know, after these guns came out, the different balancing changes. So now seeing them after the final patches for the game came out, I think is helpful. At least I hope it is. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I really appreciate those who watched, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. I hope you have a great day.